Most legendary swords that actually exist. 1. The Seven-Branched Sword. Also known as the Chiljido, this is a legendary sword that was owned by the kings of ancient Korea. Particularly during the Three Kingdoms period, the sword derives its name from its distinctive design, featuring 7 branches or tines that extend from the blade. Each tine is said to represent a star in the Big Dipper constellation, which was believed to have special significance in Korean and Chinese culture. The sword is also decorated with intricate patterns and symbols, including a dragon on the blade and a bird on the hilt. The Seven-Branched Sword is considered a national treasure of Korea and is currently housed in the National Museum of Korea in Seoul. 2. Norimitsu Odachi. It is a long sword that is characterized by its large size and impressive appearance. The sword measures approximately 3.77 meters, 12.37 feet in length, with a blade that is over 2.5 meters, 8 feet, long and weighing around 14.5 kilograms, 32 pounds. Norimitsu Odachi is a relatively rare type of sword, with only a few examples surviving today. It is believed to have been made during the 15th century, during the Muromachi period in Japan. It was likely used as a ceremonial sword or for display purposes rather than as a weapon in battle. 3. The Sword of Gojian. It's an ancient Chinese sword that dates back to the spring and autumn period, 771 to 476 BC. It was discovered in 1965 in an ancient tomb in the city of Yangzhou in Jiangsu Province, China. What makes the Sword of Gojian particularly special is the fact that it was found in near-perfect condition, despite being over 2,000 years old at the time of its discovery. The blade was still razor-sharp, and the wood of the hilt and scabbard had been perfectly preserved. Today, the Sword of Gojian is considered a national treasure of China and is displayed in the Hubei Provincial Museum in Wuhan. 4. Kirtana, the Sword of Mercy. Kirtana, also known as the Sword of Mercy, is a ceremonial sword that is part of the crown jewels of the United Kingdom. It is one of the oldest and most important symbols of the British monarchy and is closely associated with the coronation of British kings and queens. Kirtana is distinctive in its appearance, with a blade that is square at the tip instead of pointed. This is said to symbolize the mercy and compassion of the monarch. The sword also features a gold hilt and a sheath that is adorned with precious stones. 5. The Sword of Saint Peter. The Sword of Saint Peter is a legendary sword that is said to have belonged to the Apostle Peter, one of the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ. According to tradition, the sword was used by Peter to defend himself and his fellow apostles against their enemies. In some versions of the legend, the sword of Saint Peter is said to have miraculous powers, such as the ability to heal the sick and raise the dead. It is also said to have been used to slay a dragon that was terrorizing a village. 6. Joyeuse. Joyeuse is a legendary sword that is associated with Charlemagne, the first emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. According to tradition, Joyeuse was one of the most important and powerful swords of the medieval era and was used by Charlemagne in many of his most important battles and conquests. The sword is often depicted in medieval art and literature, and its name has become synonymous with power, strength, and victory. Today, Joyeuse is on display in the Louvre Museum in Paris, where it is considered one of the most important and valuable objects in the museum's collection. 7. The Sword in the Stone. The Sword in the Stone is a legendary sword from medieval European folklore that is famously associated with King Arthur, the legendary King of Britain. According to the legend, the sword was embedded in a stone, and whoever could remove it would be the rightful King of England. The sword in the stone has been featured in countless works of art, literature, and popular culture. The sword is often depicted as a magical and powerful weapon imbued with the power to conquer and rule. While the sword in the stone is likely a purely mythical object, it remains an important symbol of English folklore and history.